Hey guys, it's Section of Violence here. This is gonna be an interesting event to break down. It was a fun one. Not really betting wise, but to watch. Let's go through it. So we had Claudio Ribeiro versus Joseph Holmes. Both guys should not be in the UFC. Claudio Ribeiro picked up the win there. Really unfortunate for me. Not for me, but for Holmes, 'cause he's definitely surely gonna get cut, in my opinion. At least I hope so. Um, yeah. Uh, for him, for Holmes' next fight, I think Dobson would be a cool next fight for him, and then Claudio Ribeiro. I think Todorovic would be a cool fight to test his grappling because I don't think his grappling is all there. But yeah, good win for Ribeiro. Holmes, you really need to, grit down some more and learn some better technique because it's really hard watching you fight, my man. But yeah, moving on. We have Ikram Alexskarov picked up the win. First round KO. I did not expect that. I didn't even know he could strike that well. Um, Phil Hawes' chin I knew was a liability, but damn, that was clean. For Hawes' next fight, I think Puna Soriano would be a cool next fight for him. I know the chin needs a break, but he's got to keep testing it, and I don't think he's UFC ready with that chin. So I'm gonna go with yeah, Soriano for his next fight, and then for Ikram, I think Petrosky would be a fun fight. But yeah, moving on. Braxton Smith versus Parker Porter. I'm gonna make this quick because I wasn't gonna do this in the first place, but you guys got to get some content out there. I gotta get some content for you guys. But yeah, Braxton Smith, he's terrible. Um, Parker Porter picked up the win. I really wish I knew how bad Braxton was. Um, Parker Porter just made it look easy. And it technically was. So for Smith, I'd like to see him face Junior Tafa just to get rid of him, make a nice easy win for Junior Tafa. And then as for Parker Porter, I think Boudet would be a fun next fight for him. Um, yeah, I want to see Parker Porter expose Boudet. Moving on, we had Semmelsberger. Sorry, not uh. We have Verna Jandiroba versus Marina Rodriguez. Rodriguez, man, it was quite the matchup because, in my opinion, I thought Verna did a great job of the grappling and everything that I thought she would. But I just thought Marina's takedown defense was better than that, and it was absolutely terrible. Um, but yeah, Marina Rodriguez is going to be a fade anytime she faces a grappler, but she is really, really dangerous on the feet. She's not a fade spot, but anyone with good grappling is going to beat her. But yeah, good win by Verna. She's very, very technical, very, very good. Um, but yeah, Marina Rodriguez, she'll be back. Um, uh, who I think they should fight next? Verna, I think, should face um, Namajunas, and I think Marina Rodriguez should face Tisha Torres. Moving on, we had Chaos Williams versus Rolando Bedoya. This was a robbery, in my opinion. I thought Bedoya won this, and I had Chaos Williams. I live bet Bedoya because I was so confident. Really unfortunate for Bedoya getting robbed like that, but it is what it is. Williams is going to get the win. Really, really unfortunate, but it is what it is. I can't really break these fights round by round because there weren't too much going on. But I just thought Bedoya was landing the better of the shots in all three rounds, especially the first two. But yeah, good fight. Bedoya, I think, should fight Semelsberger, and Williams, I think, should fight Ponzinibbio. I think those be a good next fights for those guys. Um, Moving on. Kennedy Nishikwu versus Devin Clark. I missed a huge live betting opportunity here. Clark hurt Kennedy, and Kennedy survived. And once Kennedy survived, I should have live bet. but it was a missed opportunity. Clark's really not as good as I thought he was. I know he's bad, but I didn't know how bad he was. I thought he, maybe have improved. But yeah, Kenny Nishikwu picks up another second round finish. Kenny Nishikwu with the guillotine choke. So good win for Kennedy. For the next fight for them, I think Kennedy should fight Jacoby, and then I think Clark should fight Negamoranu. That would be a fun one. Yeah, good one for Kennedy. Moving on, we had we had Drew Dober versus Matt Favola. Drew Dober was piecing up Matt Favola to start the fight. I thought Drew Dober was going to dominate this fight. Turns out an atomic bomb was waiting for him. And I live bet Drew Dober personally, but a lot of money, and I lost a lot of money on it. Really upset about that. Yeah, probably what ruined the night for me. Um, I would have lost money either way, but for this was what tagged me. For Vola, beautiful punch. He's really dangerous, and I'm going to take him more seriously going forward. Beautiful win. Dober, I'd like to see him fight Riddell next. And for Vola, I'd like to see him fight Dawson next. See how he has grappling, how really good his grappling is. Moving on. Charles Jourdain versus Kron Gracie. I didn't really get to watch this because how pissed I was about the last fight. What for what I was told, Jourdain just put on a clinic, beat up Kron Gracie. Kron Gracie was, pulling guard, trying to do his thing. Really unfortunate. I thought Kron Gracie was better than that. Turns out he's not. Bad pick on my part. Really bad pick on my part. It is what it is. Moving on. We had Mazel Evlov winning dominantly. Turns out he didn't win so dominantly, but he definitely won. Crazy fight. Um, Lopez almost screwed up my whole bet and made it a monster loss night, but salvaged some of the night. Evlov did, so good win. Lopez is a gamer for sure. I'm excited to see who they pair him up with next. But if I could pick, uh, Sung Woo Choi for Lopez, and this Korean Zombie for Evloev. Moving on, because that's what Evloev needs, one big sexy win. That'll be it. Moving on. Yan Xiaonan versus Jessica Andrade. Once again, Jessica Andrade get caught coming in with her chin up. Weili Zhang caught her, and so did Yan Zhan. First round, both of them. I think that's the fight to make, Yan Zhan versus Weili. Um, would be a fun one, but I don't think they'll give it to her, and for that reason, I think Yan should fight Lemos, and then Jessica Andrade should fight Pinheiro. That'll be the next fight for her. Yeah, moving on. Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns gets hurt. Bilal Muhammad gets a win. Bilal Muhammad's hurt, else I would really be, you know, kind of annoyed with him because he didn't get the finish after he had a guy who's really hurt. Um, he only had one arm, so it is what it is. Though he had one leg. Bilal Muhammad, I feel like he's gonna get his day very soon, but he is a really good fighter. Really impressed me with his kicking. Yeah, Bilal Muhammad picks up the win, and I think he should fight next. I think he should get a title shot or Usman next. And as for Burns, I think Burns should fight Jeff Neal. That's the fight I'm really excited for. But yeah, great performance by Muhammad. Unfortunate for Burns. He'll be back though. Moving on. Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling. In my opinion, I thought Henry Cejudo won this fight. I thought he won it just barely, though. I didn't think it was like a 4-1 or 3. Like, whoever says 4-1 for either side, their opinion doesn't matter because it's ridiculous. Henry Cejudo won 3-2, in my opinion, but Sterling picked up 3-2, and I understand why they could score at 3-2. It was a very close round 3, and round 2 and 4. Rounds 2 and 5 were Cejudo's, and rounds 1 and 4 were Aljo's. It was round 3 that was the question, and no one can really agree on round 3. It is what it is. Another stain on Aljo's career, but the guys he's doing it to though, like Peter Yan, like Aljo's a legit fighter, man. I really didn't agree with his career, but he's gotten so much better. 23-3. Um, man, he's got great. People are gonna call him the bantamweight goat until he gets a more sexy, dominant win. I'm not gonna call him that. He's a great champion, but he's not that. If I was a hater, I wouldn't have even said all that. Anyways, poor performance in my opinion for Henry Cejudo. He did he did pretty good, but not to the what I thought he's capable of. But Sterling was putting on a great performance, so it is hard to do your game plan when someone else is performing so well. So, but kudos to Henry for coming in and looking pretty good for the 3 years off. Like to see him have a like that get that fight with Marab and see how he looks. I think he wins that fight, but it could be a really high paced fight and could gas out Henry, especially if it's 5 rounds. I'm gonna go with Henry in that fight if it's three. But yeah, Aljamain Sterling, man, great performance. Really unfortunate because I was rooting for Henry. I had money on Henry, and I lied about Henry because I thought he was winning, but they gave it to Aljo. So Hudo, I hope he fights Holloway next. Um, and as for at featherweight, and then as for Aljo, I hope he fights or Marab. I hope he fights Marab or Holloway. And then as for Aljamain Sterling, I hope he fights O'Malley. That's the next fight for him. But yeah, guys, it was a weird card. I didn't watch a lot of it. I made sure to watch the main event, but I watched a bit of Burns versus Muhammad. But I was pretty pissed off after Dover versus Frivola. Really upset. Negative 10 units on the card for you guys if you tail my picks. Negative like 50 units for me on the card personally over that. So really an unfortunate night for me, but I'll get it back. You guys know I will. Live betting is going to be taken a little more strictly and seriously. I got too careless with that as of late. That's what's been doing me in. But thanks for rocking with me, guys. I don't. That's why I don't post every live bet because of the things like this happen. So it is what it is. Also, he got knocked out like maybe like 20 seconds after I made the play. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate the support. Okay, and I'll see you soon. Okay, love you.